Today we're going to look at two paintings. One is called A Lady with a Blue Hat. It is the picture on the left. The other one is called The Portrait of Dora Maar, and it is on the right. I want you to take a look at these two paintings. Are they realistic or are they abstract? Pablo Picasso was an artist who loved experimenting with the elements of art. Do you remember what they are? They are line, shape, color, value, and texture. Do you see the things that he used in these two pieces? Can you find some lines and describe them? What colors do you see? Great. What shapes do you see? Can you find two colors that are different values? And can you find some place on the painting that looks like it has texture? Either painting. Excellent. Today we're going to start our final project, painting a self-portrait inspired by Picasso. Let's be brave and experiment just like Picasso did. Today, you get to be an experimenter just like Picasso. So the very first thing I want you to do is take your piece of paper, and you might need two of these to experiment with, but we're going to start with one. You're going to fold it in half. You're going to fold it in half again. Use your thumbnail to get a good crease. Pick it up, fold it in half again. And then one more time. I know it's getting harder to do, but I know you guys can do it. Okay, one more time. So you should have a piece that looks like this. Kind of, mine's a little crooked. When you open it, we're going to take each little square and you're going to be making a facial feature on it. All right, here you see some examples of some cubist shapes that are directly from some of Picasso's paintings. I think it's upside down. There you go. All right, here we have a group of eyes. I have about 8 eyes. I have some noses, and I realized I should have drawn the noses this way because they're longer. These are going to be too short. Here are some mouths, and then I also did another sheet because I didn't have enough to experiment with. So more mouths, and another eye, some ears, and some noses. I would like you to do at least 4 of each so that you have enough to play with. But like I said, the more that you have, the better. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut them out. Once you've cut them out, I want you to sort them into piles. So put all of your eyes into one pile, all of your noses into another pile, and all of your mouths and ears into each of their own piles. Then we're going to put them up above our workplace. The next thing we're going to think about is face shape. What kind of face shape do you want? These are some of Picasso's ideas, but you can have your own. These are just examples. Once you've chosen your pieces and you've cut them out, you're going to arrange them on your face and glue them down with your glue stick. Make sure that you get the edges firmly attached. Once everything is glued down, you're going to need your Sharpie marker to add some more details, like hair or jewelry or clothing. Neck might be a good idea to start with. Whoops. I have a I have a freckle under my eye, so I'm going to put that there to represent my freckle. And I also have a dimple in my chin, so I'm going to put a little circle there. All right, the next thing you're going to do is paint. So you're going to need a paper to put down to protect your surface. You're going to need these colors: yellow, magenta, cyan, orange, purple, green, and a little bit of white and a little bit of black if you want to change the values of your color. We're going to be painting each section of our painting with one color. You can blend a little bit. This is what I mean. We'll start with my hair. I just mean that we want to keep each section separate from the others. So I'm not going to paint through my face. I'm not going to paint through the background with the same color that I do my hair. I'm going to make sure that they are different. But within this spot, you can use variations of the color that you picked, kind of like our monochromatic painting. I always thought it'd be cool to have pink hair, but I would never do that in real life. Well, maybe I would. I don't think I would. If you could have whatever color hair you wanted, what color would you pick? Now's the time to test it out on your cubist painting. Also, think about the colors you want to use. Picasso used blue to symbolize sadness, but to me, blue is not a sad color. It's a happy color. It's my favorite color. It reminds me of the blue sky in the summer and spring. Maybe you're feeling angry today or tired. What colors represent those feelings to you? You could use those in your painting. I have, I forgot to show you, I have water in my jar, my paintbrush, a paper towel, and the paint. I'm going to add white down here. I want to make the value lighter at the bottom of my hair and then gradually get darker as I go up, or at least more purple. So I'm adding white to my painting. When you're painting, don't worry about covering up the lines that you drew, because we're going to be marking them back over again when the paint's dry. Don't worry about covering up your lines. We're going to go over those again when the paint is dry. And the second thing is paint right up to the places that you want to match up with your pieces that you cut out. In other words, my eye is sitting on my skin, so I want to make sure that I paint it. I don't want to leave any white spaces around it. And if it starts to pull up, that's okay. Once the paint is dry, we can re-glue it down again. We're in the final steps of our final project for Picasso. Your painting should be dry before you begin this step, and you're going to need oil pastels and collage materials. I don't know if you can see them, but I have all of these things that I had laying around. You probably raided your parents' junk drawer or have other things. So if you have things like metal or bottle caps, you're going to need this heavier glue to do that. Otherwise, if it's just paper, you can use regular Elmer's glue stick. All right, we're going to think about cubism. Picasso was the father of cubism. He was also the father of collage, and that is what we're going to be doing on our paper. I want you to think about how you could break up this picture into geometric shapes. Example, my hair is already kind of in geometric shapes. So I could do something like this. Make a triangle. And inside that triangle, I can use line, one of the elements of art, to give it some texture and some visual interest. I can do the same thing over here. Okay, you can even do it on your face. Now, we talked about remarking these. So if your painting's dry, you can take out your Sharpie and do that real quick before we go on. So I need to reattach this eye. Everything else is sticking pretty well. And if for some reason this doesn't work, then use the tacky glue. That'll keep it down. All right, we're gonna add in lines. You can do it on your face. You can divide your face in half, just like he did before. You could do that and have one half looking one way and the other half looking the other way. You could make spirals or any other kind of design that you would like. Okay, you can see that I put in some line and texture and value. And I put in some interest here. This is a very light orange oil pastel. I also put some geometric shapes on my shirt, and I also divided up my space here on the face, and I changed my lips a little bit. Oil pastel blends really well, so if you don't like the color that something is, you can use white over it to blend it. I used oil pastel and white to blend here between the white and the pink, between the orange and the pink, and the yellow, because these are some of my favorite colors too. I really like how they mix together. All right, when you're done with that, you can move on to the collaging part of our project. Collage can be a lot of fun. It can almost be like your own little secret. For instance, in my collage, and you may be limited by your things that you have today, but in the future when you're doing collage, think about it as your own private little secrets about yourself that people can look at and go, I wonder why she used that, or I wonder why he used that. You can see I picked some washi tape that has musical notes on it. Can you guess why I picked this? If you guessed it's because I like music, you would be right. I'm going to put this on my head right here. Washi tape is super easy to rip, but I want it to go from one side of my head to the other, kind of like my crown. There. All right. People might not notice that unless they stop and really look at my picture. I also have these numbers. I just had a birthday. I'm not 65, I'm 56, but I'm gonna hide these on here too. This is my favorite color. I'm going to cut it to the right shape and then glue it on, or close to the right shape. This doesn't mean anything, but I like the way it looks, so I'm going to attach it to my painting. I'm not going to glue it, I'm just going to stick it on the side. So if you have a paper clip somewhere laying around, you might be able to do something like this. I have a bunch of these little flowers. My plan was to put them on the background like this, but they're going to be hanging over the edge of the paper, which is fine. That's okay if that's what you want to do. You could even cut it off so that it matches the edge of the paper. I think I'm done. Thank you so much for doing these projects with me. I really enjoyed making them and doing them for you and with you.